So next we'll add an element, and we're going to add a row element. And I'm going to make this a full column row. There we go. I don't want any space between each column. So we'll click apply. And I'm just going to name this categories. And here you see we have each column. Let's go back to the row settings. Column spacing, we could change this to large. You have large spacing between each one. Small spacing, normal, but I don't want any spacing. Column style, you have divided, dashed. You have a little dashed line between each space, and solid. Keep that normal. Column background, you can change the color. Width is full width. We can change this into a container so there's padding on each side. We can change the custom width. I'm going to keep it full. You have all these different options here. I'm not going to go through each one. So we have actually line vertical, middle. That's not going to change because it's full width. So let's go back, apply that. So our first column, click twice on that. And here we have the width. This is set into 12 different segments. If I click the 12, that's going to make the first column. You can see this is column 1 now, column 2, column 3. It'll make the first column full width across the entire width of the page. So if we keep it at 4, you can see each of these are now a third. If I go to 6, it would make this one half, the first column, half the width of the page because 6 is half of 12. So we'll keep it at 4. Divider. There's a divider here now. It's kind of hard to see. We have padding, margin. I'll come back to this a little bit later because I'm going to have to change the margin after we put in our background images. So for right now, I'm going to apply that. And let's put in our first image. So we'll click this here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a banner. So we'll add to column. Just type in banner. There we go. Click banner. I'm going to go ahead and use a simple center banner. So I'll come down here and click apply. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this slide because that's distracting. There we go. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to click on the banner here. So I'm going to give this banner a name. And I'm going to add my background image. Choose this image here. Next, I'm going to change the size. So I'll go to 16 to 9. I'm going to change this to 65%. There we go. I'm going to change the size to original. And I'm going to change the position to top. And I'm going to change the overlay here. I'll click the black color. And I'm going to change this opacity down, decrease it to 35.35. There we go. Click choose. That looks good. Next one I'm going to do is add a hover effect. So I'll go to hover. And I want to choose remove overlay. And what this does is when I hover over it, it'll remove the overlay color and it'll brighten the image up. That looks nice. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Update it. And now let's open the banner here and click twice on text box. And I'm going to go ahead and widen this. And we'll scale this up to make the text larger. Take it to 175. There we go. It looks good. And let's go ahead and change the text while we're at it. So we'll click twice here. Change this to women's clothing. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight this and make it bold. And click OK. There we go. Oops. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. We don't need that. Click OK. There we go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and click apply and update that just to be safe. And next, let's change the button. So we'll click twice here and we'll change the button to say shop now. And if you want, you can change this so it's all lowercase, but I'm going to keep it uppercase. Keep it there. I'm going to change the color to primary color and the style to default because I want this to be filled in. That looks good. Keep this normal. Animation, I'm not going to animate it. I'm not going to change anything else here. That looks good. So we'll apply that. And we'll update it. And now that looks nice. So because I'm lazy, what I'm going to do is instead of going to the second column and redoing all that again, I'm going to go ahead and come up here. I'll close this. Click the gear icon. Click duplicate. I'm going to go back. And let me see. Here we are. Okay, so here's the duplicate. And we're going to drag that down to the second column here. Here's the second column. So I'm going to click this right here. Just drag it down underneath into the column. There we go. And we can close this column here. All right, so now all we have to do is change the text and the image. So let's go into banner. Change the image first. Upload files, click select files, and this is going to be the men's clothing category, so we'll choose that one. Click use this image. There we go, and our hover is set and everything, so we don't need to worry about that. So we'll click apply. We'll open the banner up, and text box is fine. We just need to change the text, so we'll click the text here. Open the text editor, and we'll just change this to men's clothing. Perfect. Click OK and apply, and we'll update that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate that one. Oh, you know what? Let's go back in here and let's change the admin label while we're at it. So we'll just, there we go. Okay, so we're going to click here, click duplicate. Go back, and there's the duplicate. So I'm just going to drag this down underneath the column here. Actually, we'll put it into the column. There we go. Okay, so we'll click on the banner. We'll change this to accessories. Oops. 2 S's. We're going to change our background image. Upload files, select files, and we're going to use this one here. Click use this image. There we go. And now let's change the text. So we'll double click that and we'll highlight this, delete it, and change to accessories. Oops. There we go. Because I deleted it, it went back to paragraph. So all you have to do is, if that happens, highlight it and you can change it to H3 and it goes back to a heading 3. So click OK. That looks good. Click apply. Update. Okay, that looks good. So if I hover each of these, they brighten up. Looks nice. And we'll add the links to the buttons after we create the shops for each of these. So next what I want to do is I want to add a border around each of these. So let's go back to banner. Oops. 4 and there we go. So we need to do it around the banner. 4 pixels on the left, right, and top. Apply that. Let's go to the next banner. Double click. Scroll down. And we'll do 4 pixels. Hold and drag to the right. There we go. Apply. Oops. Did that wrong. There we go. Come on now. Perfect. Apply. And the last banner. Four pixels. Top. 4 pixels right and 4 pixels left. Perfect. Okay. That looks good. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and see what our store looks like on the front end. So to go to the front of the page, just click this X here. And now we're on the front of the page. You can see our beautiful video slider, our nice text here. We can go to the next slide. We have our nice text box here with our headline. And now we have our circle text box. Looks really nice. And if I scroll down here, each of our category boxes light up when we hover over it. Beautiful. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add some products. And to do that, we're going to have to install the WooCommerce plugin. So we'll go up here and we'll go to our dashboard. And we'll come down here to plugins. And we'll click Add New. And over here, we're going to search for the WooCommerce plugin. We'll just type in WooCommerce. And this is WooCommerce right here. You can see it has over 5 million active installations and 4.5 stars out of 3,404 reviews. I mean, WooCommerce they're awesome. They're the #1 e-commerce platform for WordPress. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the Install Now button. And then we'll click Activate. And that brings us to the WooCommerce Setup Wizard. Now this might look a little bit different in the future, but for now this is what it looks like. So where's your store based? Well, my store is going to be based in the US. And your address, I'm going to just type in a fake address. Choose your state. What currency do you accept payments in? Obviously, since I'm in the US dollars. And by the way, you have all these different countries here. So if you're not in the US, and these different currencies as well. What type of products do you plan to sell? Well, I plan to sell both physical and digital products. But you could choose one or the other if you only decide to sell physical or digital. I will also be selling products or services in person. I'm not going to check this box, but if you are, you would check that box there. And I'm just going to keep that checked. That's fine. Click Let's Go. Payment options. So the great thing about SiteGround, if you chose SiteGround, which is a host I recommended, it comes free with an SSL certificate, which you need for Stripe. So congratulations. If you went with someone else, like some of the other web hosting companies, they don't provide the SSL certificate for free, so you have to pay extra for that. So set up Stripe for me using this email. You put in your email address you want to set your Stripe Up account with. And I'm going to show you how to set up a Stripe account and a PayPal account later on, so don't worry about that. So that's automatically turned on. We also want to accept PayPal payments, so we'll turn that on. And this is where you put in your email that you're going to set up your PayPal account with. We also have, you can also accept payments from customers offline if you want to. I'm not going to, but you could check any of these. Next, we're going to click Continue. Shipping. So the great thing is we have flat rate here. We could choose free shipping if you want to provide free shipping for your customers. I'm going to choose flat rate, and don't worry, I'm going to go more into shipping later on. So I'll show you how to set up shipping and all the costs and everything. You can also, locations not covered by your other zones. You do the same thing here. Next, we're going to choose, let's see, depending on the weight of your products, if you're selling appliances, you would obviously choose like pounds. But we're going to be selling clothes on this store, so we'll choose ounces. And product weight and also the dimensions. In the US, we use a standard system, but if you're over in Europe, you would use a metric system. So you would choose, millimeters, centimeters. But we're going to choose inches because we're using selling clothes. If you're selling something larger, you would choose yards. So once you're done, click continue. Oh, that's right. We have to put in the cost. So let's just put in $10. That's for flat rate shipping. And we have to put in this as well. So there we go. So here we have automated taxes. I'm going to show you how to set up taxes for your local area later on. But we also have automated taxes. We'll just leave that checked. MailChimp. This is good for your collecting email addresses for your mailing list. So send out coupons and news, upcoming news. So we'll leave that checked as well. Facebook. I'm just going to uncheck this. You know what? We'll leave that checked. So everything, we'll just keep that like it is. Click continue. Jetpack. This is good for with the automated taxes. We're going to set this up. You can see payment setup, automated taxes, and discounted shipping labels just connect with Jetpack. So to set this up, we'll click this button. You need a WordPress.com account to set this up, and WordPress.com, it's free to create an account, so don't worry. It's probably going to have to, it'll tell me to log into my WordPress.com account. Yep, there we go. So I'm going to log into a different account here. Let's see. Here we go. I already have an account, sign in. So I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. And I'm going to sign in with a different email address here. Actually, I'll use my username. Flotsam theme. Password. Okay, so it's going to take you to the Jetpack setup. I'm just going to go ahead and click this off. We can set this up later. We're going to create our first product, so we'll come over here to the menu where it says Products, and we'll click Add New. So this is where you're going to create a product. Whatever you're selling, you're going to put in as a product name. So let's say I'm selling a leather coat. And I'm going to make this, let me see, I'm going to choose, this is my store here, so I'm going to make this brown leather coat. There we go. Next, we're going to put in a description. This is actually going to be the description that shows up over here, right here. I'm sorry. It's going to be the description that shows up down here in the details. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And I'll just paste it here. By the way, you can use the WordPress editor here, just like we did with the text box when we created the slides on the home page. This toolbar toggle will open up to more options. And I'm not going to go through this because I kind of went through it already. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to choose a simple product. You can also do a group product, external affiliate product, or variable product. We're going to do a variable product after this, but for right now we're going to do a simple product. So let's see, we have a price here. So you put in your regular price, and let's say it's on sale, so you want to put in the sale price, $50 off. You can schedule your sale by clicking here, and let's say you want to schedule for a week. So we'd put in, it's already set today, and then we'll choose a week from today, which is the 4th. Tax status. Is this product taxable? Or is it shipping only? You're only going to tax shipping or none. So we're going to keep it on taxable. And if you ever have a question about any of these, all you have to do is hover over this question mark. And you can see it defines whether or not the entire product is taxable or just the cost of shipping. Tax class. You're going to choose a tax class to apply to different tax rates. So we could choose a reduced rate, 0 rate. We're just going to leave it on standard. We're going to go through taxes a little bit later. Next, we'll go to inventory. You can put in a SKU number if you have a SKU for your product. Manage stocked. If we check this, we can put in the stock quantity. Let's say we have 10 of those left, and it'll keep track of that. Do you want to allow back orders? Back orders is if you run out of stock, do you want to allow your customers to buy anyway, to purchase? And what you would have to do, if so, you would click allow. Allow but notify customer, and this would notify customer that it's on back order. So we're going to put allow. And here you have a low stock threshold. What this does is when product stock reaches this amount, you will be notified by email, which is a very good feature. So we'll just put, we'll leave it at 2. Sold individually. Do not check this box. You're rarely ever going to use this, if at all. And what this does is if you would check this, that means that the customer would only be able to buy the one item, okay? And that's it. So we're going to leave that unchecked. Shipping. What's the weight of this product? I'm going to put 64 ounces. You can see it's in ounces. 16 ounces is 1 pound. Dimensions in inches. So I'm going to put length will be, we'll say 36 inches long, 24 inches wide. And height, which is pretty much the thickness of the jacket, we'll just put 1 inch. Shipping class. We're just going to keep this as no shipping class. Next, we'll go to link products. Upsells. Upsells are, they're like, let's say your customer is in the checkout section and you want to show them a product that is even better than the one they're looking at. Let's say a more expensive leather coat. Then you could search for a product here and put it in there, and it would show that during the checkout process. Cross sales, I don't recommend this. What this is when they're at the checkout page, it'll show them another product that is similar. You might want to promote that. I don't recommend that because let's say they're getting ready to check out and they're like, oh wait, what's this? You might lose a sale because they decide not to come back and check out, and they're checking out this other product that you put as a cross sell. So I would just leave that off. It's up to you. Attributes, we're going to come back to this later when we do the variable product, so we'll skip that right now. Advanced purchase note. What do you want the page to say after your customer purchases a product? Well, but thank you for your purchase. Menu order. We don't really need to do this because Flatsum, you're able to put your items in the order that you want. And then with reviews. If I were you, I recommend you definitely check this because it will allow your customers to leave a review after they buy the product. And reviews are great because I don't know how many times I go to Amazon and I buy a product based on the reviews. If this product A, has more positive reviews than product B, then I'm going to get product A. So it's a good way to increase your sales. Get more options. You can browse the marketplace. This is for WooCommerce. They have extensions that can add functionality to your product pages that make your store stand out. So we're not going to go through that. You can go through that on your own if you like. Just press browse the marketplace. Extra, we're gonna come back to this a little later. This is actually a Flatsome theme thing, and we have custom bubbles and everything. We're going to be able to add a product video. I'm going to show you how to add a product video to your product page, which is really cool. Flatsome's one of the few themes, e-commerce themes, that allows you to do that. So let's keep going. We're going to come down here to the product short description. And this is actually the description that's going to show up right here. So I like to leave it short and to the point. So I'm just going to copy and paste that there. And let me just show you real quick. It's also going to show up right here. You can see this is the same description. You can choose not to have this if you want and just have the product name and the price and the add to cart button. But I like to have the short product description. And again, you have the same options as the description up here. Next, we're going to add the product image. So we'll click Set Product Image. And I'm going to go to Upload Files, select Files, and I'll go to our website folder here. And we're going to go to Shop Pages, Women's Clothing. This will be under Coats. And here it is, brown leather coat. I'm going to choose this one. Actually, I'm going to choose all these and click Open. And this will upload all the photos at once because we're going to use all of them for this product page. So this photo is going to be the photo you want to as your main photo for the product. And I'm going to choose this one because it shows the front of the model. Click Set Product Image. There we go. And now we're going to add the other two images. So we'll click Add Product Gallery Images. And we can actually add these both by clicking and then click Control, hold it in, and you can see they're both check marked now. And we'll click Add to Gallery. There we go. It added both photos. And if you want to delete a photo, you just click this X. Product categories. This is probably the most important part of this creating a product. The only way you can categorize your products is through product categories with WooCommerce. So we're going to click Add New Category. And because this is a women's clothing item, I'm going to create a category for women's clothing. So I'll just type women's and click Add New Category. There we go. And it's already checked. Next, product tags. These are good for to help your customers search for a product. So I'll just type in leather coat. Click, oops, make sure you spell it correctly. Click Add. And I'll type in women's. All right. That's it. So now we're going to publish our product. And when we're ready to view, we'll click View Product. You can also click it up here. And there's our product. We have our product name here, our sale, our original price, and our sale price. Here's our description. It shows that we have 10 in stock because we added the stock amount. Add to cart button. They can also increase this. We have our PayPal buttons, and later on we'll have a Stripe payment button as well when we set that up. Here we have our category, our tags that we put in, social profiles, so they can share this actually on their social media page, which is great. That can help increase your sales, especially like Pinterest, Facebook. Here we have the main image. And we have a slider here we can go through, and you can see our other images are down here. If I click on this, it opens up a light box with a larger image, and I can even enlarge this as well. And the customer can drag this to see the whole image. And there's also a navigation arrow as well over here and here. And just click to go back. Here we have our sale bubble. Because this item is on sale, it's going to show this nice little sale bubble, which is really cool. Down here we have our description that we put in. See, we have details, our bullet list, additional information. This is our shipping information that we put in when we set up this product, and reviews. So let's say the customer wants to leave a review. They can do that, and then they would type it in here. Click submit. Now don't worry if you only want customers that actually bought the product to leave a review. We're going to set that up later on, so that way if you have trolls that just try and leave fake reviews, they won't be able to do that. I just want to show you that your reviews will show up here now. And we're actually also going to change this a little bit too when we customize the product.